Hi guys. I guess today's the day. I'm gonna be talking about my pregnancy. Um, yeah. I also have pictures and then a video of Zachary being born. Obviously, you can't see anything, so everything is good. Yeah, you can't see anything, so you're okay to watch it. I will start out by saying that a lot of what happens is very damaging. I went through a lot of physical, mental, and emotional abuse with this ex, and that was mainly the 5 years of our relationship, was just a lot of yelling and a lot of anger. But anyways, let's jump into it. So I met, let me see, we're gonna call him Jason. Random. Anyways, I met Jason on POF, which is Plenty of Fish. It is an online dating site. Kind of like Tinder, but a little different. And he actually messaged me, and we just clicked, and we talked on the phone for like 3 hours. And I guess at that time, when I was that young, because I was only 20, and I guess in my mind I was like, wow, he's willing to sit on the phone with me for this long. I guess that's a sign that he actually really likes me. So that day I asked him to come over, and then he didn't leave for probably a week and a half. And during that week and a half, we thought we fell in love, and we thought everything was going great, because it was. Like, I mean, I guess, but I also just got out of a very, very physically abusive relationship with my ex-fiance. Let's call him Linus. I don't know. But Linus is a way bigger story for another day. Anyways, so that's how we met. And me and Jason, we hung out for a very long time. And then I got kicked out of my place, and then I was homeless for about a good 8 months, and he didn't want me to be homeless, and so he found me a place, not really a place, but it was with him, so I'd be living with him in this house. And that's actually where I met a lot of my really good friends, and even to this day I am still in contact with one of them, and she's amazing, and she has been nothing but supportive of me, and she's just a really amazing friend. Anyway, so I was living at this place when I found out I was pregnant. And of course, I'd never thought that. I was like super sick when I found out. And like, we went out to get ice cream and all of this fun shit, and came home, and I just threw it all up, and I was really confused, and I just felt like dog shit, and I couldn't shake it, and I was freaking out because I thought I was really sick. And we went to the urgent care. We took a pregnancy test, because normally they'll always have you take a pregnancy test. And lo and behold, she comes back. She's like, no, everything looks okay except for the fact that you're pregnant. And I was like, what? Huh? I'm what? I'm what? And wait, what? Huh? So she tells me I'm pregnant, and right then and there, I freaking knew that he was not gonna allow me to keep this baby. That he was probably not going to stay with me if I kept this baby. And that was kind of my biggest thing, is that I didn't want him to leave. And it sucks because of how fucked up everything was. He was such a bad guy, and I couldn't get myself to be like, yeah, that guy's a bad guy, and I shouldn't have anything to do with him anymore. But whatever, anyways, found out I was pregnant. We went home, and he would normally leave for a while, and I was his chauffeur because I was the only one who knew how to drive. And he would leave for hours to days without messaging me, without contacting me. And here I was, this very scared little girl who's never been pregnant before, who's never understood what it would feel like to have something growing inside of her. And with all of this turmoil in my head going on, Jason didn't make it better. He just kept leaving me by myself. And throughout the 8 months of me being pregnant, I was so stressed out that I was crying myself to sleep every night, that I just wanted to die. And that was the hardest part, is that I wanted to die knowing I had a baby inside of me. And the more he was gone, the worse it would get. The more I was alone with my thoughts, the more I thought he hated me, the more I thought he just didn't want to be around me because I was pregnant. And yeah, that was it. That was 100% right. I was not fooling myself. I was 100% right. He did not want to be around me. He did not want anything to do with me at this point. But he also didn't want to be the bad guy and leave me while I was pregnant. And I already had a very dark past with self-harm, and he knew that. And he didn't do anything to make me feel better. He would leave me alone, and he wouldn't contact me. And so the loneliness got to me, and I started hurting myself. Places where nobody would have thought to look. It was just a very difficult time. Like all of my appointments, he never went to. He would yell at me. He raised his hands at me. It wasn't a good situation for me to be in. And the sad thing is that I didn't want to leave. I loved him so much that I thought he could change. and I thought I could change him. And I couldn't. Nobody can. That's what I've learned from growing up, is that the only person who can change you is you. I spent many days crying, being angry, not understanding what I did to deserve this. I was doing everything he wanted me to do. I didn't know what else I could do. I was giving up my baby. I allowed him to just leave me for days with no contact. And when things would go sideways, it would be my fault. Nothing was ever his fault. He was always the good guy. He was always the one that was trying to help me. But I was always the bad guy. He always made me feel like I was worthless. He made me feel like I was just nothing to him. That I was just a person that he had to take care of because it was his kid.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
It was so bad. My mental state was really bad. I didn't know what to do. And I'm very grateful that my parents were there, because if they weren't, I don't know what I would have done. If my emotional support animal wasn't there, I wouldn't have been here. I would not be here. He was everything to me. And I'll post a picture right here. His name is Maverick. And I had him since he was 6 weeks old, 4 to 6 weeks old. And I had to give him up. I had to rehome him after I gave up Zachary. I had to rehome my best friend. I had him for 6 years. Just so much stuff all at once that I had to go through. And I just felt like nobody cared. Jason didn't care. I felt like nobody cared. I thought the only way for me to be happy is if I were to just comply with everything he wanted me to do. And every time I talked to him, it was like stepping on eggshells. And the amount of times he would yell and scream at me was insane. And I'm no better. I would yell and scream right back. I was terrified for my life, and I didn't know what was gonna happen. The biggest reason I chose adoption was because I did not want our kid to grow up with an abusive father. And the way he talked to me, the way he would raise his hands at me, the way he hid shit from me, I couldn't allow our son to go through that. And I would not allow that. That's not fair. And after everything happened, the hardest thing to come to terms with was that he was hiding another kid from me all along. That he had a daughter. So he could allow his ex to have a baby with him, but not me. And I didn't know what to think. I felt like I was stuck with someone who hated me and who didn't want anything to do with me, but they felt bad for me. I just felt like nothing I could do or ever would do would ever be enough for him. And it was really hard, especially going through so much pain and so much heartache and not knowing how to cope with it, and not having someone who actually gave a shit about you. Just know that no matter what kind of situation you're in, that it will get better, and that there are people there that you can talk to, even though it doesn't feel like it. And in my mind, this video was gonna go a whole different way. But I just wanted to be completely honest with everybody that my pregnancy was not the best. It was pretty difficult, and I wouldn't even wish it on my worst enemy. It was such a lonely, dark hole that I was in, and I didn't know if I could ever get out of it. And I didn't know if I could ever have the balls to leave my ex. And it's just a whole bunch of crazy shit going on that after everything that happened with him, I am 100% way more confident in who I am, and 100% way more stronger than I was. And yeah, definitely one of the hardest things I'd have to go through. But I will say, going through that has made me realize, because my entire childhood, I didn't feel like my mom loved me, my birth mother. I never felt like she loved me, and I never felt like they cared about me, and that's why they gave me up. But going through what I had to go through with Zachary, it's made me realize that my mom had the same amount of love that I have. And I love that little boy so much. It is the hardest thing to watch him grow up and not really be a part of his life. And my mom chose to have a closed adoption, which is okay. But I don't think I couldn't have done that. I need him in my life, and that was definitely something that Jason did not want. He didn't want any part of Zachary to be in anybody's lives, and he wanted a closed adoption. But I wasn't gonna let that happen. He already took Zachy from me. Not gonna let him take away my time with him. Sorry that this video is everywhere. I'm just trying to be as honest and open with this as possible, and I want to be there for people who are going through the same thing. That it still hurts, but I'm learning to live with it, and I'm learning to cope with it. That no matter what, you did the right thing. You will feel like you did not do the right thing until the end of your days, but know that you did the right thing. Well, I love you guys. If you have any questions or anything about this, leave them in the comments. If you have, or if you need any advice, leave in the comments, let me know, and we can go from there. But I am very happy that I was able to share this experience with you, and to let you know that, you know, my situation was terrible. It was shit. But I made it out, and I didn't think I could. Just know that even though it feels really hard and impossible right now, that you will be able to get through it. And I'm here for you. Well, I love you guys so much. And I can't wait to share more stories with you guys. And here is the
and put pressure on that point. Lots of pressure. There, wonderful. That's it. Keep doing that. Holding. Blow out. Fill up. Go right back at it, just like that. Again. Big one. Yeah. Lots of pressure. Pressure. Yeah. Yes. That's it. Grab the next one. Chin to your chest. Back on your knees and go for it. That's it. Good for you. Very good. That's it. Go for that. And blow. And blow. Category 2, Tracy. You who? What do you want? I can do that. Am I hurting you back there? I'll tell you if I don't get you. Okay, good. Corinne, when you feel like there's just a ton of pressure when you're pushing, push harder on it, okay? Don't be try not to be afraid. You're just not gonna back off. Push right through that. That's it. Put your chin on your chest. Nice work. Next one. Where you got Take a breath, honey. Take a breath. Don't push. No push. No push. Your eyes
got my hair.
Yeah.
Well, I came out with a full head of hair.
Did you?
I had a lot of hair.
What the heck is going on here?
Good. Alright, so the cord isn't pulsing anymore. I'm going to clamp it, okay? So I'm going to rotate him this way just a little bit. I know. Get your hands out of there. I don't need your help. And you're going to cut. Right here, I'll get all the cord and stuff away. Just cut right next to the yellow. Yeah. kind of chewy. Yeah. And it doesn't hurt him. Nope.
Nice.
Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pick him up. I have him, but I'm gonna put him on you. Okay. Just tuck him in here. Go like that. All right. Oh yeah, definitely. I'm gonna pull your blanket or your gown over just a wee bit, like that. You got a cute little hat. Make it the right color. Don't grab the wrong one.
Put it over the cone again.
That's right. We say it's to keep them warm. It's really just to cover the cone.
Some right there. Let me get this off.
He's so cute.
Good color. You can shimmy up there
Very
if you
happy
want. You
day.
and I will kind of dance over here a little bit every once in a while.
You just have a teeny tiny little hair, like probably 3 stitches is all. Oh my god. Yeah.
You know how bad it is with how long you stitch, right?
Yeah, exactly. It won't take more than 2 minutes.
Good. Lucky. What if you
It's a pretty amazing process.
Yes, it
It's been a while since I've seen that.
It doesn't get old.
I'll have a girl in, dude. I can't.
No.